I would like to talk about the role of Europe in general, the EU in general, the European countries, the West, and particularly the civil society. It's very important to understand that historically, European governments, including the Swiss government, believed that their role was to mediate, to allow Jews and, I'm sorry, to allow Israelis and Palestinians to meet in Geneva or in Oslo, as if this was the problem. The problem was that the two sides didn't have a place to talk to or needed a mediation. This proved to be a total failure. We saw it in the Oslo Accord. This kind of European involvement allowed Israel to continue the occupation, the colonization, the ethnic cleansing, the genocide. Europe needs to play a very different role because it is part of the problem that is called Palestine. It is complicit in what happened. And therefore, the role of Europe is not to mediate between Israel and the Palestinians, but to stand by the Palestinians, to defend the Palestinian rights. That's the historical role. That's the historical responsibility. And the civil society in Europe should make sure that its political elite and systems do not forget that this is their role. Do not forget their responsibility for what went in the last 76 years and what happened in the last year. There is amazing work done by civil society, including in Switzerland, through the boycott, divestment, and sanction, the BDS campaign, through workshops and conferences. This all, of course, is fantastic. But I think that we still need to do much more. We have to double and triple our efforts to convince the governments of the day that they have this role to stand by the Palestinians. It's impossible to understand how the Swiss government, for instance, is silent about a genocide that is happening in front of our eyes. The worst kind of genocide since the Second World War in the Middle East. This is something that our societies should not allow to happen and would demand that that kind of policies would change and that Europe will begin to correct the kind of destruction and suffering that the Palestinians have endured because of its past policies and help us to build a new Palestine that will help us to build also a new and peaceful Middle East.